Success leaves clues, and if you sow the same seeds, you'll reap the same rewards. That's a principle you can take to the bank, my friends. The question is, are you ready to start planting those seeds? Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered how the most successful people achieve their dreams? What's their secret? Is it luck, talent, or some magic formula? Well, here's what I've learned over the years. Success is not an accident. It's a predictable outcome when you follow the right patterns, adopt the right habits, and most importantly, learn from those who've already done it. Today, I want to talk about one of the most important lessons I've ever discovered. Success leaves clues, and if you're willing to look, to listen, and to learn, those clues can lead you straight to the life you've always dreamed of. In the next few minutes, we're going to uncover what these clues are and, more importantly, how you can use them to change your life forever. This isn't just about motivation, it's about action. Because knowledge alone won't change your life. It's what you do with that knowledge that matters. So let's get to work, shall we? Let me tell you something that changed my life when I first heard it. Success isn't something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. And guess what? The people who've already achieved success leave behind clues. Those clues are their habits, their decisions, their philosophies, and yes, even their mistakes. If you can identify those clues and apply them, you're on your way to writing your own success story. So, what does it mean when I say success leaves clues? Well, think of it this way. If you wanted to bake the world's best cake, what would you do? Would you just throw ingredients into a bowl and hope for the best? No, of course not. You'd find someone who's already made that cake, someone who's perfected the recipe, and you'd follow their instructions step by step. Life is no different. There's a recipe for success. And the great news is, the clues are everywhere. They're in books, in interviews, in speeches, and most importantly, in the lives of the people you admire. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to study the lives of those who've already built it. Now let me ask you this. How much time do you spend studying successful people? Do you look at what they do, how they think, and the principles they live by? Or are you spending your time on things that don't move you closer to your goals? Because here's the reality. If you're not learning from the best, you're making life harder than it needs to be. Successful people leave a trail. They write down their lessons, they share their stories, and if you're paying attention, you can use those lessons to skip the trial and error phase. You can avoid years of mistakes by simply observing and modeling what works. Take Henry Ford, for example. When Ford built the automobile, it wasn't just about the car, it was about the assembly line. He left us a clue about efficiency, about creating systems that work for you instead of working yourself into the ground. Or how about Steve Jobs? He taught us the importance of innovation, of thinking differently, and of staying obsessed with quality. These aren't just stories, my friends. They're clues. And if you dig into them, they'll reveal the principles that can change your life. Now, some people will say, Jim, those folks were just lucky. But let me tell you something. Luck might get your foot in the door, but it won't keep you in the room. Success isn't about luck. It's about preparation, opportunity, and execution. And guess what? Preparation is a clue. Every successful person I've ever studied had one thing in common. They were prepared. They did the work before the opportunity even showed up. Let me give you another example. When I was a young man, I met a mentor named Earl Schoaf. Earl taught me about personal development, about goal setting, and about the disciplines of success. He told me things I'd never heard before, things that completely changed my life. He said, Jim, you can either learn by making your own mistakes, which will cost you time and money, or you can learn from the mistakes and successes of others. I chose the second option, and let me tell you, it was the best decision I ever made. When you learn from the best, you're not just saving time, you're gaining clarity. You're following a roadmap instead of wandering aimlessly. And that, my friends, is priceless. So here's the big question. Are you willing to study success? Are you willing to dig for the clues and do the work to apply them in your life? Because here's the truth. Success doesn't show up on your doorstep. You've got to go out there and find it. And the fastest way to find it is to learn from those who've already been there. Take out a notebook, write down the names of 5 people you admire and start studying them. Read their books, watch their interviews, and pay attention to the principles they live by, because the clues are there. You just need to start looking. Remember this: success leaves clues, but only if you're paying attention. So, are you ready to start finding them? Now that we understand that success leaves clues, the next question is, where do we find them? What do these clues actually look like, and how can we recognize them when we see them? Well, let me walk you through some of the most important areas to focus on, because the clues are everywhere if you know what to look for. Clue 1, mindset and beliefs. The first clue is mindset. Every successful person I've ever met, studied, or worked with has had one thing in common. They believed in themselves. They had a growth mindset. They saw challenges not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow. Now, don't get me wrong, these people weren't born with unshakable confidence. They built it. They conditioned their minds every single day. They fed their minds with positive information, surrounded themselves with uplifting people, and eliminated the weeds of doubt and negativity. You've got to do the same. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself, about my potential, about my future? Because if your beliefs aren't aligned with your goals, you'll never achieve them. And that's a clue, my friends. Fix your mindset, and you'll start to see doors open that you didn't even know were there. Clue 2, daily habits and disciplines. Success doesn't come from what you do once in a while. It comes from what you do every single day. That's why daily habits are one of the biggest clues you can learn from successful people. If you study the greats, whether it's athletes, entrepreneurs, or artists, you'll find that they all have routines, they all have disciplines. Take Benjamin Franklin, for example. Franklin had a daily schedule where he asked himself every morning, what good shall I do today? And every evening, what good have I done today? That's a clue. He wasn't leaving his success to chance, he was planning it. So here's the question, what are your daily habits? Are they moving you closer to your goals, or are they holding you back? If you want to change your life, start by changing your day. That's where success is built. Clue 3, skills and expertise. Let me tell you another secret. Successful people are lifelong learners. They never stop improving their skills. They understand that the marketplace pays for value, and the more value you bring, the more success you'll attract. Think about this. How often do you invest in yourself? How often do you read, take courses, or practice the skills that matter most to your goals? Because here's the thing, every skill you develop is another clue on your journey to success. And the good news is, skills are learnable. You can always improve. I remember Earl Schoaf telling me, Jim, work harder on yourself than you do on your job. And he was right. Your income rarely exceeds your personal development. That's a clue, and it's one you don't want to miss. Clue 4, relationships and associations. Here's one of my favorite quotes. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Think about that for a moment. Who are you spending your time with? Are they lifting you up, inspiring you, and pushing you to be better? Or are they holding you back? Successful people surround themselves with other successful people. They build networks, join mastermind groups, and seek out mentors who challenge them to grow. That's a clue, my friends. If you want to rise, you've got to surround yourself with people who are already at the level you want to reach. Start evaluating your relationships. Who inspires you? Who drains you? And who do you need to connect with to take your life to the next level? Because here's the truth. Your associations can make or break your success. Clue 5, learning from failures. Now let me share one of the most overlooked clues of success: learning from failure. Every successful person has faced setbacks, they've made mistakes, they've fallen down, but the difference is they didn't stay down. They got back up, learned the lesson, and kept moving forward. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. When someone asked him how he felt about all those failures, he said, "I haven't failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." That's a clue. Failure isn't the end of the road, it's part of the process. So don't fear failure, embrace it, learn from it, and use it to grow. So here's what I want you to do. Take a moment to think about someone you admire, someone who has achieved the kind of success you want. Now ask yourself, what can you learn from them? What habits, skills, and beliefs do they have that you can adopt? Write them down, study them, and most importantly, start applying them. Remember, success leaves clues. The question is, are you paying attention? All right, now we've talked about finding the clues. We've talked about mindset, habits, skills, relationships, and even learning from failure. But here's the big question. What are you going to do with all this information? Because knowing isn't enough. Action is where the magic happens. Step 1, study the best and take notes. The first step is simple. Become a student of success. Pick someone you admire. Maybe it's a business leader, an athlete, an artist, or even someone in your own community. Study their lives, read their books, listen to their interviews. Watch what they do, not just what they say. When I first started learning from my mentor, Earl Schoaf, he said something that stuck with me. "Jim, don't trust your memory, write it down." So I did. I started keeping a journal, writing down every lesson I learned, every quote that inspired me, and every idea that came to mind. And let me tell you, those notes became my blueprint for success. So grab a notebook and start writing. That's your first action step. Step 2, create a success plan. Now that you've studied the clues, the next step is to turn them into a plan. And let me be clear, a goal without a plan is just a wish. So what's your plan? What are the steps you're going to take this week, this month, and this year to move closer to your goals? Here's a simple way to start. Write down your top 3 goals, then write one action you can take for each goal. Just one action. Don't overwhelm yourself. Maybe it's reading a chapter of a book, reaching out to a mentor, or waking up 30 minutes earlier. Whatever it is, make it specific and make it achievable. And don't forget to review your plan regularly. Earl used to tell me, "Jim, plans don't work unless you do. So work the plan, adjust as needed, and keep moving forward." Step 3, build a support system. Success isn't a solo journey. You need a support system, a group of people who believe in you, challenge you, and hold you accountable. Maybe it's a mentor, a coach, or a mastermind group. Maybe it's just one friend who pushes you to be better. Whatever it is, find your people. And let me give you a piece of advice. If you're the smartest person in your group, you're in the wrong group. Surround yourself with people who are smarter, more experienced, and more successful than you. Learn from them, listen to them, and one day you'll be the one inspiring others. Step 4, start small, but start now. Here's where most people get stuck. They wait for the perfect moment to start. They say, "I'll start when I have more time, more money, more confidence." But let me tell you, there's no such thing as the perfect moment. The best time to start is now, today, right where you are. Start small. take one step, build one habit. Because success isn't about doing everything at once. It's about doing the right things consistently over time. Remember, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So what's one discipline you can start practicing today? Step 5, measure and adjust. Finally, don't forget to measure your progress. Success isn't a straight line. It's a series of adjustments. Maybe your first plan doesn't work. That's okay. Learn from it, make changes, and keep going. Think of it like a GPS. If you take a wrong turn, the system doesn't yell at you or give up. It simply recalculates and gets you back on track. You need to do the same. Be patient with yourself, but be persistent. Success is a journey, not a destination. Here's an exercise for you. Tonight, take 15 minutes to reflect on everything we've talked about. Write down one habit you'll start, one skill you'll improve, and one person you'll reach out to for guidance. Then, take action on those 3 things this week. Small steps lead to big results. Remember, success isn't about what you know. It's about what you do with what you know. So, are you ready to start taking action? So let's bring it all together. Success leaves clues. This is a principle you can live by. It's not about luck or chance. It's about paying attention, studying the best, and applying what you've learned in your own life. Think about the clues we've uncovered today. Mindset, daily habits, skills, relationships, and the lessons learned from failure. These are the seeds of success. And just like planting a garden, it's up to you to nurture those seeds, to water them with action, and to give them time to grow. Now, let me ask you one last question. What will you do with the clues you found today? Will you write them down, make a plan, and take action? Or will you let them slip away like so many missed opportunities? The choice is yours, my friends. But remember this: your future depends on the seeds you plant today. So start planting. I believe in you. I believe you have what it takes to create a life of success, purpose, and fulfillment. But belief isn't enough. You've got to believe in yourself too. And you've got to do the work. Take one step today, just one, and tomorrow take another. Before you know it, you'll look back and realize you've traveled farther than you ever thought possible. The journey of success starts with a single step. And the good news is, you're already on your way. Now, if you found value in this message, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who needs a little inspiration. And don't forget to like this video. It helps us reach more people who are ready to change their lives. Subscribe to the channel so you never miss another lesson, and turn on notifications so you'll be the first to know when the next video drops. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Remember, success leaves clues, and you're on the path to finding them. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and keep growing.